I could remember sometimes having no choice to be out there because I didn't have nowhere to live.
For the second time this week, Rachel Willen shared her story with commissioners, this time as a survivor of sexual exploitation. Willen previously testified with her husband as survivors of the child welfare system. Abuse began at a young age and continued for more than a decade.
Through foster care, the different systems, it started around 10. It really started around 10, 11, 12. And at that time, we never really heard exploitation or human trafficking. Those big fancy words weren't known to us.
Not knowing how to cope, Willen found herself down a dark path of violence, addictions, and incarceration. She spoke of her time on the streets.
In my head, walking down the back lanes, I would literally carry like a weapon right in the open and just walk. And if anybody came at me, they were going to get it. And it wasn't nice, but I was in such a dark place that I chose to walk down the dark streets.
It would take another decade for her to walk down a new path of sobriety, one she credits to the support of family and friends. Alea McIver spoke of her own experiences being trafficked starting at the age of 12.
He got into his car and had picked me up, and you know, I serviced this perpetrator for a amount of hours, and only to not understand again what sex was. And I didn't even know what a condom was.
She was shipped province to province before she made it back home years later. She eventually escaped the trafficking world with help from the community. McIver and William were the only two survivors that shared their experience in Manitoba. McIver says it's important for survivors to share their story because they may hold key information to other cases.
There's a lot of victims that move into those roles of survivors into warriors. Have that potential information that families are seeking and looking for.
APTN inquired about how many people have registered as survivors. That information was not available by airtime. Brittany Hobson, APTN National News, Winnipeg.